Okay.
Entry and exit tones are off.
All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. My name is Haziq Ali, and I'm a revenue acceleration coach. I'm something of a self-esteem development expert, starting with my own. And every day, our whole vibe is to give you things that can help you go further, faster, with less effort. You know, this weekend we got a Kaizen Academy that is going to be a straight up game changer. We're doing part 2 of our closing series. Closing for part-time business owners is really what we're talking about this weekend. And I'm gonna do a whole training on just objections because they're really only 8 objections. People act like there are millions of them, but no matter what kind of entrepreneur you are, there are really only 8 of them. And we'll do a whole training on that eventually. But when that customer is telling you they have an objection, what I want you to think about real quick is whether that's really an objection. I want you to think about that. Is it a true objection? Is it just them stalling you out? Is it a flat out lie? We call everything an objection, but a real objection is the real reason that they won't buy right now. And a lot of times when they give you an objection, what that customer or client is really saying, yeah, Chanel, yeah, Miss Yvette in the house, Allie Goins in the building. What up, K's? Let's get it. What the client is really saying, my man Toby, is that you haven't sold me yet. You ain't done what it takes to bring me on over to the other side. You know what I'm saying, Michelle? Huh, Vita Lachey? You get what I mean, Erica? That's what they're really saying to you. What they're saying to you is that you haven't brought me to the other side yet. It's actually a buy signal because what they're doing is they're saying, right, David Ruffin, man, this training wouldn't be nothing without me. Right, David Ruffin? You know, what they're really doing is requesting more information. What they're doing is requesting more reassurance. So believe it or not, that's really a buy signal. There are very few actual objections. If this was one of my live trainings, I'd be up here with a whiteboard and I'd say, okay, I know y'all say there are thousands of objections that they give you. All right, let's name a few. Every time you're going to start slowing down at 6 or 7 or 8. There are very few actual objections. Most of what you consider objections are really just stalls. They stalling you out. And then it gets further complicated because a lot of times they hide their real objection. They lie. Why? Because they don't want to hurt your feelings. They're embarrassed. This is stuff to write down. Maybe they don't want to hurt your feelings. Maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe they're afraid to tell the whole truth. These are all real reasons that they don't tell you why they really aren't buying. And so a white lie is so much more convenient. A little small little fib is a lot easier. It's less bloody than actually telling you the real reason, actually telling you the truth. So they're just saying something to get rid of you. How many of us have ever been in that situation, right? How many of us have ever been in that situation? This weekend, you know, me and my business partner, like we went out for his birthday and whatnot. We went out the country for a minute. And of course, you know, there's a timeshare presentation. And the dude starts off talking to us. And I'm like, yeah, we love this stuff. We're in sales. You know what I mean? Show us what you got, you know? And then he's like, man, what brings you? I'm like, the discounts. They said that if we come to this presentation, then we'll get this. I was keeping it crazy real with him. But most people don't do that, do they? Most people sit there and they be polite. You've already made your decision. We're going to talk about this weekend. We're going to talk about it this weekend, right? Like how I'm going to give you a whole bunch of examples to prove to you and give you ways you can prove to your team that people make decisions instantly. A lot of what you're doing when you give these long presentations is you're giving the details, but the person made their decision almost instantly. They're just saying stuff to get rid of you. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ali, I tried, but they were overseas. You know what I'm saying? But check it out, though. Top 10 stalls or lies that you hear that you confuse with objections. I want to think about it, right? We're going to take it back to David Letterman, right? These are the ones I could think of. You give me some in the examples. What are your biggest lies you hear when they just telling you something? We've already spent the money. I got to talk it over with my parent, my wife, my pet, my lawyer, my accountant, right? My dog, my kitten, right? Right? Yeah, Allie, let them know, Queen. Let them know. This Kaizen Academy this weekend is going to be crazy. You know, mark my words. What about I need to sleep on it? right? They lying to you. What if they say, I never purchase on impulse? I always give it time to sink in, as if they're going to go home and sit in their thinking chair. They ain't got no thinking chair. You know what I mean? And they don't do no thinking. You know what I mean? But I digress. Maybe a sixth one would be something like, get back to me in 90 days. Any of y'all ever used that one on somebody? Yeah, get back to me in 90 days. You know you ain't. In 90 days, you've already blocked their number, right? What about I'm not ready to buy yet? What about I'm not ready to buy yet? Or if there was a number 8, then maybe it would be like, quality is not important to me. Right? They'll flat out say, yeah, Chanel, I need to pray about it. I need to pray about it. You know what I mean? Like, let's pray right now. I'm always down to pray. Let's get it. Or another one would be something like migraine. That they had a migraine. That's right. So y'all get what I'm saying. So what's a true objection? Most real objections never even get said out loud. You hear me? Most true objections are never stated. Isn't that an interesting thought? 90% of the time, when they say, I want to think it over, it really means they don't have the money. They can't get the credit they need to afford it. They can't decide on their own. They don't have the authority to spend over the budget or anything out of the budget or without somebody else's approval. I'm talking to all of my folk who sell business services to people. This is something to jot down, even if you need to rewind this. Sometimes they think or they know some place where they can get a better deal, right? Sometimes they have something in mind and they don't necessarily want to tell you about it. Sometimes they have a friend or they have a satisfactory business relationship with the current merchant that they use. You hear what I'm saying to you? Sometimes they want to shop around. Right? Sometimes they don't need it or they don't think they need it, which is the same thing to you. You hear me? Sometimes they think or know your price is too high. Sometimes they don't like your product. Sometimes they don't trust your company. Sometimes they don't like you or they don't trust you. What is my point here? My point is you need to be in this class this weekend. Right? Because we're going to go over what we call level 3 closes. I might throw in some level 2 closes. You're like, I didn't know closes had different levels. Yeah, they do. But what you need to understand is that when you're getting objections, you've done something wrong, because it starts with rapport, which is where we start to build that trust or leverage that trust. From there, it goes to icebreaker, where you slide your business or your idea, your solution into the conversation in a non-awkward way. After that comes a close. Rapport, icebreaker, close. Then comes presentation. Do you hear me? You can overcome an objection perfectly, but only after you understand what the real objection is. If not, you're going to be shaking your head like, yo, why isn't this happening? What's going wrong here? He said it was this. I answered that, and they still aren't buying. When you get an objection, what you got to understand is that you need to know if that's the real objection. And most salespeople are not able to get to the real objection. They're not prepared to overcome the objection. And check this out. They don't understand how to prevent this objection. They don't understand how to prevent the objection. That's what we're going to talk about this weekend, because people make decisions instantly. And I'm going to show you how to prevent objections. People make decisions instantly. I'm not only going to prove that to you this weekend, I'm going to give you examples so you're able to prove it to your team. Now, why can't most people get the real objection? They don't have the product knowledge. You hear me? They don't have the sales tools. Why don't they get, why aren't they able to prevent objections? They don't have the self-confidence. That's right, Allie. They don't believe in themselves. Exactly. But where does our confidence come from? Preparation. They didn't prepare properly, right? They even though they've heard this objection a million times before this, they still ain't prepared for it. Isn't that mind-blowing, y'all? Isn't that mind-blowing? And it could be any combination of these. Maybe their presentation just sucks. And so they close the person in the beginning, but then they're horrible. You know, if you get them to come to the meeting, you already closed them, right? If you get them to come, as long as you ain't lie and say it was a Super Bowl party, when actually it was but if you told them that this was a meeting that was going to help them do blank, and they showed up, you closed them. You hear what I'm saying? You closed them already. So let's talk a little bit about the 4 possible meanings of one specific objection that you get sometime, the price objection, right? Here's one possible meaning of the price objection, right? There are 4 different possible meanings. You remember how I told you 4 meanings of no? Like, I don't think I can, I don't understand, not you, or not now, right? Well, there are 4 meanings to that costs too much. One is that the price is too high and they can't afford it. Share that with an entrepreneur. Little moment for you, right? Maybe it really is too high and you're talking to the wrong customer. Here's a second possible meaning when they give you a price objection. Your price is too high. I can find it cheaper elsewhere. You see, that's 2 different things. I can't afford it, or I can find it cheaper somewhere else. Or I can find it for the same price, but it's a better version of this solution. You see how that's 2 different things? All right. The third one, your price is too high. I don't want to buy from you. I don't want to buy from you or your company, right? I don't like y'all. You know what I mean? Something subconscious is going on where I just don't dig. Y'all ain't who I want to patronize. Or number 4 is when they say the price is too high. I don't see, I don't perceive, I don't understand either the cost or, more importantly, the value of what it is you're offering me. Millionaires, about half the time you get that price objection, that sale is gone, right? And they may not even tell you the real reason why. But the other half of the time, that's a buy signal. And you can sell them if you use the right words. You can sell them if you use the right phrases. So what we're going to discuss this weekend is a lot of good stuff about that. This is like what we call a skill set Wednesday. You know, sometimes we do a mindset, sometimes we do a heart set, sometimes we're doing skill set. This is more like a skill set Wednesday because I want you to get into the skill of actually trying to dig for the real objection. Here's a phrase I want everybody to write in the comments. Make sure you get it. Tell me a little bit more about that, right? Tell me a little bit more about that. So when they say, oh, you know, I don't understand why it costs so much. You're like, man, that costs too much. Say, tell me a little bit more about that. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Allie. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Mark. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Chanel. That's what I'm talking about. Tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Jamie. Divine. Tell me a little bit more about that. Congratulations, Divine. I see you. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Miss Connor. Yeah, Miss Shirley. Tell me a little bit more about that. That's what I'm talking about. This is a powerful phrase to help you get a little bit closer to what's really bothering them. Because a lot of times when they respect you enough to give an objection, that's right, Jamila. That's right, Dion. A lot of times when they respect you enough to give you an objection, they're actually giving you a buy signal. Y'all hear me? All right, so this weekend in the Kaizen Academy, we're going to have a ball with this thing. So I hope you're ready. Before we get out of here, because it's affirmation time, I hope that was helpful a little bit, giving you a little something to consider. But check it out. Everybody here know Crystal Reynolds. Can everybody say happy birthday to Miss Crystal Clear? Can everybody say happy birthday to Miss Crystal? Because we missed her birthday. I was out the country. But y'all know this is like, if Miss Ama Nantwi is my right hand and Crystal's like my left hand, you know what I mean? I couldn't do nothing that I do with this whole Kaizen Academy thing. Obsessed with success every Wednesday, et cetera, and so forth. Can y'all do me a favor, y'all? Can y'all do me a favor and please Cash App her a couple of dollars for her birthday? And then can y'all come back in the comments and be like, done? Can y'all Cash App Crystal? Her cash tag is $9. Everybody who's in the Kaizen labs, y'all know how she takes the Kaizen Academy classes and then works with our Kaizen Academy students to literally you know what I mean, work you through the concepts, work you through questions and nuances. Maybe she'll shoot me a text message, etc., so forth. But she does all of this out the goodness of her heart. Like she's literally one of the most selfless people that I've ever met. And I just think she deserves to be celebrated. So if she's ever done anything, to kind of show you some love, yo, can y'all cash app her real quick? Can y'all cash app her real quick? It ain't got to be much, you know what I mean? But her cash tag is the $, the number 9, and then Crystal with a K. Isn't she amazing, y'all? Yeah, straight up. Straight up. I would flash all of the happy birthday messages on the screen, but I want to keep her cash tag up because she deserves. I don't care if you're watching the replay. Shoot her a couple dollars and then in the comments be like, for appreciation. She is amazing. One time, y'all, my grandma needed help with getting onto Zoom or something like that. And I was like, man, I know the perfect person to send you. Do you know Crystal got on the phone with my granny, who was in her mid-80s, and showed her all kinds of love and patience and appreciation and just held her hand and walked her through that whole thing, And okay. I appreciate that, everybody. I appreciate that. Everybody who's saying done in the comments. Thank you so much, Jamila, for showing Crystal some love. Thank you so much, Miss Vita Lachey, for showing Crystal Clear some love. Thank you so much, Erica. Y'all are so dope. Appreciate that, Mark. Mr. 800 sent a couple dollars. I appreciate that. It is her birthday. It was her birthday a couple days ago. And I just think she's the dopest, man. So I really appreciate that. It is affirmation time. It is affirmation time. Yeah, after you do it, come back and say done. Come back and say done after you do it. Appreciate that, Miss Connor. Appreciate that, Miss Donna Goodwin. Appreciate that, Gavin Murray. Appreciate that, Alan Harmon. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, every time you sow seed, you schedule a harvest. Think about that. Every time you sow seed, the Cash App is on the screen, Dion. The $9 Crystal. That's her Cash App. $9 Crystal. Appreciate that, Miss Nixon. Appreciate that, Sade. Appreciate that, man. Y'all are so dope. Y'all are so dope. All right, we about to get out of here and do our affirmations. Yeah, she is amazing. She is amazing. And appreciate that, everybody. Appreciate that, everybody. Yo, y'all are the dopest, man. Y'all are the dopest. Appreciate that. Everybody that shows some love to one of our tribe members. Appreciate that, y'all. Y'all are straight up the best. That's right. That's her cash tag right there. Appreciate that, everybody. All right, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Call in right now. Come say your affirmations with us. Come say your affirmations with us. Let's get it. Appreciate that, Dion. Appreciate that, Young Coco. Appreciate that, Allie. Man, I love our tribe. I love our tribe. Yeah, appreciate that, Young Coco. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's affirmation time. Repeat after me, man. I want you to say it like you mean it. I want you to say it like you mean it. We're about to get it. Repeat after me. Let's go. Let's go. 667-776-WIN1. 667-776-WIN1. Let's get it. All right, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. We always start with the two most powerful yet shortest words in the whole English language. You ready? It goes like this. I am. Whatever you say after I am becomes a command to these 3 trillion cells in your body. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Let's get it. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it.